Okay, in this video we are looking at specifically exponential growth and exponential decay. So for the notes that we took in class, if you open this up on the left hand side, it gives us this formula where B has been replaced with the 1 plus R, or in the case of decay, 1 minus R. So 1 plus R is where R is a rate of change expressed as a decimal, and you're going to add that to 1 to get growth. For decay, you will take 1 and subtract that decimal. So let's see how that works in a word problem. So a town has a population of 48,000 in 2011. Then the population increased by 8% per year for the next 5 years. Write an exponential growth model for the town's population over the 5-year period. Use the model to find the population in 2014. So A is our initial or starting point, so that's 48,000. B is 1 plus R. Well, R is 8% as a decimal, that's 0.08. So 1 plus 0.08 is our B. So B ends up being a number bigger than 1, 1.08. So we substitute those values in. Here's your general form for the equation. If you wanted to know for 5 years, at the end of all that time period, that's what it would be. But they specifically wanted to know how many people in the year 2014. So 2014 is 3 years later, so the X is a 3. So you put this in your calculator, you're going to get 60,466, and then there's going to be a decimal. But we're talking about people, so we ignore the decimal because you can't have part of a person. For a graph, we've been given an equation, so we put this into y equals in the calculator, go to the table, we find out that -1 is 0.6667, which is actually 2/3. 0, which is our y-intercept, gives us a 2, and we see right there A is equal to 2, and then 1 gives us a 6. Plot those 3 points, connect them, and remember that we have this asymptote at y equals 0, so the curve will never go below the x-axis. For decay in a word problem, we'll see words like decreased, so it's going to decrease by 0.5% each year. In 2010, the business profit was 1.2 million. Write an exponential decay model showing the business's profit and what was the profit in 2014. So our initial amount is 1.2 million, which is 1,200,000. R is 0.5%, which as a decimal is 0.005. So to find B, we're going to do 1 minus 0.005. That gives us 0.995. Then we just substitute these values into the formula. Y equals A times B to the, in this case, they wanted us to use a T as the exponent. In the year 2014, then that's 4 years later, so we replace the T with a 4, put that into the calculator, and since this is money, we're going to round to the nearest penny. We get $1,176,179.40. Here we see its decay in the equation because B is a fraction. We have a y-intercept of 4, so here's our y-intercept. Put this into the calculator. Look at when x is -1, then our y value ends up to be 8. And if the y value is, if the x value is 1, then our y value is 2. Plot those points, and I got a few more points when I looked at the table, and just to be a little more specific with the graph. So this is decay. Remember, this is your asymptote at y equals 0. So the thing to remember is you are either adding a decimal because you have growth, or you are subtracting a decimal because you have decay. In order to find your B, take 1 minus the decimal for decay, find the decimal, and do 1 plus the decimal to find B for growth.